Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of The Gentleman Reviewer. Today is going to be a fun day because I'm doing my first backpack review. So I tend to focus a lot on, and then my plans for future episodes, I tend to focus a lot on stationary items such as fountain pens. I've got a couple of mechanical pencils that I want to review. So mostly focus on writing things, but today I wanted to do a backpack because it's something that I use pretty frequently. It's something that a lot of us use to carry our items around with us from day to day. And so I've been really impressed with the Osprey Tropos, which is released, I think it was 2018, so recently this year, maybe 2017. So this is the Osprey Tropos. I hope you can see it. I don't have the greatest setup for doing a backpack, however, just because it's so big, but hopefully you guys can see it well enough, and if not, check out my blog post, which I'll include a link of in the description below, and then you'll be able to see some pictures that I think really capture what it's like living with this bag. So I don't have the specifications memorized off the top of my head, so it is 22 inches high, about 12.8 inches wide, and then 12.2 inches deep. So it's a pretty good sized backpack. It holds 32 liters of storage space, which is pretty large. And this one in particular comes from the 24/7 line that Osprey introduced recently. So the goal behind the packs in that line, I think there's 4 for men, 4 for women. The goal is to have a pack that you can use as a student, as a professional, something that you're comfortable taking to work or school, and yet still has the features of the outdoor packs that we all know and love from Osprey. So they're durable, they're light, they look good, and you know they're going to stand the test of time. They also, as always, come with Osprey's limited lifetime warranty, so if you break it, they'll replace it or fix it. Well, they'll try to fix it first, and then if they can't fix it, then they'll replace it. So the pack itself is actually made of nylon. There's a couple different nylons that go into it. The specifications were just nylons and a couple different numbers. So I don't know exactly what that means in terms of what the durability actually is. The pack itself only weighs 2.7 pounds, which is surprisingly light for a pack this size and this big. I was really impressed by that when I got it out of the box, and it's like, wow, this feels like almost nothing. I'm used to Swiss Gear backpacks or full backpacks, which I think are pretty heavy and they're very beefy and bulky. So some of the features that go across the 24/7 line is what I'm going to talk about first, and then I'll go into what makes the Tropos and what's the unique features to this backpack. So all of the packs come with a heat embossed slash pocket. Again, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see in there. I'll try to get a little bit of a better view for you. Again, I have pictures of all of it on the blog. But it's a great place for stuff like sunglasses, things that are going to get scratched easily. It's pretty soft. It's a lot softer than the nylon that the rest of the bag is made from. One downside to this, though, is you can see it goes into the main compartment. I don't know how well you can see it, but it actually goes into the main compartment. And so depending on what you're storing in there, like I keep this Padfolio in there, which is pretty large. And sometimes I feel like my sunglasses are going to get smashed in it. So just be aware of that. It's a great pocket for easy, quick access. Sometimes I'll throw my phone in there, my wallet, especially if I'm going into an area like sometimes I visit a jail and I can't take my phone back. So I throw it in here, throw this in the locker, and keeps my phone safe, keeps it from getting scratched up. The next feature that runs across the Osprey 24/7 line are these mesh pockets. The things I like about these is I got tired of carrying my 48-ounce Nalgene around, and it just kind of sucks to hold, especially when it's full, because it just gets heavy and it's annoying. I did put nylon around, or a paracord around there, so it's a little bit nicer to hold. But the nice thing about this is it fits perfectly in there. I feel like it looks like it's going to fall out, but the pockets are deep enough. That it's not going to fall out, even if it goes around like that. The only time I've had my water bottle fall out of this is when it actually fell off one of these chairs that I'm on and fell completely over. And that, I think, is due to some rubber lining that goes around the mesh pockets. It's also, I've noticed these are pretty durable. Even when holding a thick Nalgene water bottle, they don't get stretched out and worn out. So I feel like that's going to stand the test of time. It's still very elasticy. It doesn't feel like it's been worn out yet. I've been using this fairly daily for a couple of months. Let's see. What's next? The the front panel organization pocket. I'll try to get this open completely for you. So you can see there's quite a bit of room for pens. It goes across the whole bottom. These are a little bit thinner or not as deep pockets. Actually, no, I've got something in there. You can fit some pens in there. But, you know, you've got a couple slots for pens, some extra slots for pens, and it goes down deep enough into here to hold a small notepad. So you have some extra storage down there. There's a nice zipper pocket here. I couldn't get a good picture of this, and I don't think I'll be able to get a good picture of this in the video, but some extra storage. These are great for stuff like you see here, my power bank, a couple charging cables, and it's got a hook for stuff like keys. It does feel kind of cheap, so I don't know how durable that's going to be, but again, Osprey will, I don't know if they'd be able to replace this, or I don't know if you'd want to send a pack in just to replace something like that. I personally don't use it, so never have on any of my backpacks, but it's just a nice little feature, especially if you don't want to carry your keys around on one of those day hikes if you're using it for. So all of the packs have a blinker light attachment right here. So this is great for those of us who are commuting to work on a bike. I know a lot of states, at least here in Colorado, if it's morning or if it's after dusk, you have to have a blinker light attached to you. I've had them fall off of my bike. I've had them, you know, just get lost and not notice it while I'm riding. So this is great because it's actually attached to your backpack. It's a little bit more visible when you're riding, when it's up here rather than down below your seat, for example. And the cool thing about this is there's a couple different ways you can attach it. You can attach it going this way, and you can attach it going through there. So I included in a picture on the blog a Jinhao X750 going through here just so you can see the different ways that you can attach to this piece. Pretty durable again. It's nice, like I said, it's just a nice extra feature to have so you're not, you know, looking for a way to hook it or try to find a better visibility area to place it. It also has, I don't know if these go across the 24/7 line, but it has some extra hooks on here. Not really hooks, but loops, or you can put a carabiner on it and attach keys, whatever to it, maybe a water bottle. But these are great for helmet attachments, especially, again, if you're commuting on a bike or scooter, Segway, whatever you might use. The top grab handle is one that goes across all the packs, so hopefully you can see that pretty well. I really like this one. This is one of the things that I'm really picky about on my backpacks. I've had a couple where this is just like flimsy and I feel like it's going to rip really easily, especially when I was in college. And I was carrying a bunch of books around, a bunch of notebooks, and just everything I could possibly need in a day, so I didn't have to go back to my apartment. I feel like this is really durable. It's anchored very well to the rest of the backpack. And it's sturdy enough, but it doesn't feel like it's going to cut into your hand if you're carrying quite heavy stuff. As a side note, one thing that I'll probably get into a little bit later is if you can see right here, this has a hole going into the laptop compartment. So this would be useful for a day pack because then you could put a hydration pack in there from Osprey or Camelback or something like that. It doesn't really have hooks on here. I mean, you could loop it through that actually, or right here to use the hydration pack. The only downside, actually I'll tell you about the one downside for using this as a hydration pack later when I get to the laptop sleeve, which is actually next, so I might as well go into that now. Alright, so let me get you to the laptop compartment. It's a little bit hard to get to this zipper sometimes, but this has, and again, go through my blog post, which I'll include a link below to get better pictures of this because I'm not going to be able to do that on the video. I don't have a good setup for that yet, but it's got a padded laptop compartment that can hold up to 17-inch laptop, which is, I think, the biggest they make them. Maybe they go up to 19 now, I'm not sure. I have a 15.7-inch laptop, which fits perfectly in here. It's nice and snug. One thing that's nice about this backpack, too, is it actually, the compartment doesn't go all the way down to where it sits on the ground, so it's actually suspended a little bit. So if you're carrying your bag a lot, you're setting it down really hard, or if you drop your bag, or for those of us that just like take our laptops and slide them right in there really hard, you don't have to worry about it hitting the ground and damaging a corner, cracking a screen or anything like that because it's suspended. So that's a great feature, just so I think they go the extra mile there to make sure that your backpack or your laptop will stay in working order when you're using this bag. So what I was saying about the hydration port right here, the only thing I think this pack is missing to be able to be fully utilized as a day pack is it doesn't have a way to hook a day or suspend a hydration pack in here. I don't know how important that is to most people, especially if you're just going on a short hike. But this isn't something that I would like for, say, hiking a 14er where you're going to be drinking a couple liters of water and you want to make sure to be able to get to all of it without it like sinking down and making it hard to drink water out of it. That's the one thing I think this pack is missing, and if they would add something like that, maybe in a new addition to the Tropos, I think this pack would really go the extra mile in making it a good day pack. I was also thinking of, since right now I don't have a laptop for work, I don't have a reason to bring my laptop to work because I have an office and I'm expected to do all my paperwork there. I was actually thinking of using this as a hydration pack where I didn't have to carry my Nalgene around, and that's one of the reasons that I didn't, is because it didn't have that way to hook it up. So again, if Osprey would do that, I think they would really go the extra mile, making this a good day pack and a good pack for the office, everything, and for students. So some of the features that make the Tropos unique, let me zip this up so I can get this a little bit better. So some of the features that make the Tropos unique is this kickstand feature. I think you guys saw me set it down and it'll stand up. So it's not doing it very well right now, and so it's standing up right now. The one downside to this kickstand feature is it doesn't seem to work very well if it's not fully packed. So when I have my Padfolio in there, my water bottle, I have my Romont tea tumbler that I hook on the side here sometimes too, my notebooks and everything else that I'm carrying for the day, it usually stands up pretty well. But I keep these straps on the side tightened just because I don't want it to be bulky. I'm not carrying that much stuff right now. I'm not carrying as much as I would if I was a student. I don't have books to carry. So I like it to be as close to my back as possible. And so that doesn't give this very much space to be able to do its job as a kickstand. So if you're very light packing, you might just have to deal with your backpack falling over a little bit, which isn't a problem. I mean, it's a little annoying, especially when that's one of the features that sets this apart. But again, I'm not using it fully loaded, and if I did, some of the reviews that I found say it works much better that way. The kickstand also gives it a really sturdy frame, so it's going to stand up straight. It's not going to slouch and fall over like a lot of other backpacks that you'll use. So it just forms to your back really well. Another thing that's unique to the Tropos is the ventilated back mesh. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well, but it gives you a good maybe 1.5 inches between, I'll try to spin it around a little bit for you. It'll give you a good 1.5 inches between where the laptop compartment is and your back. So this is great for those of us who get sweaty like me, because your back's breathing, it keeps yourself cool. It also forms really well to your back and it feels good against your back. I've had backpacks where if I throw my laptop in it, you feel like your laptop's digging into your back, especially if you're carrying a bunch of books. But haven't had that problem with this because this back mesh is really good. It's also springy. It hasn't worn down yet. It doesn't feel like it'll wear down and lose its springiness or tautness. So if it ever does, I'll do an update video and let you guys know about that. So this one also has a front panel pocket. This is one thing that I like, but it's not super functional. I think this will be great for covering or carrying a rain cover because it's something quick and easy access to it. I currently keep my business cards in there and my ID for work. But if you're ever on the trail and you need to carry a map, rain cover, throw your phone in there. Sometimes I'll throw my phone in there if I just need easy access to it. It's easy to get to. Zipper goes up here. There's some Velcro up here. You need to open it a little bit wider to throw maybe a really, really light jacket in there that'll fold up really tight. Last thing that this includes that I don't have on here that's unique to this is where to go. Right here, you can see that there's a little plastic set for some straps. So this does have a removable hip belt that I took off. It's about, I don't have it with me, it's in my car, but it's about as thick as this chest strap. So it's pretty thin as far as a hip belt goes. This is another area where I think Osprey kind of fell short on this and trying to make it suitable for a day pack and something you could use at the office or at school. I think they should put some hip pockets here just for some extra storage, extra stuff that you have some quick and easy access to. I don't know how well that would work, like if you're taking the bus or the train or riding a bike. Actually, I think it'd be great if you were riding a bike. Something like what they have on the Raptor 14, I think it is. I really like the hip belt or the hip pockets on that. Yeah, it's kind of wimpy, kind of weak. It feels like it will just dig into your stomach if you have it, if you're using it, because it's not very, very thick. So let's see. So some of the additional features that this has is, I think you guys can hear my dog. She came over and decided to drink water. She's a newfie. Here, no, I won't do it. I won't show you her because she's drinking water right now. But sweet dog just drinks very loud, so I'm sorry for that. So some of the additional features that I like about this pack, it has something like the 0G suspension. It's not the exact same as the 0G suspension. I couldn't tell you what the differences are though. But I don't use it because I want these to stay flat. But if you were to use it, it just helps take some of the weight off your shoulders when you're carrying the pack. Helps you carry it a little bit higher, feels a little bit better on your back. Again, I don't use it. I want these to stay tight or as close to it as I can, and that's mostly because I'm throwing it in and out of my car a lot. As I said before, I work in the community a lot. I'm a community case manager, and yeah, I want this to not get caught on anything or get all messed up or pulled and ripped a little bit, although I don't think it would rip because they are attached really well. Something that I really like about this backpack are actually the shoulder straps. I'm really picky on these things. Let me try to get you a better view. I really hate when you spend good money on a backpack, and I've seen this a lot on Swiss Gear, for example, and they've just got, same with the carrying handle, really wimpy, not very well padded, just like some straight nylon, no extra padding, shoulder straps. I don't like that at all. I like it comfortable on my shoulder. I think part of that's because I have big shoulders, and I don't know, it just feels weak to me. It feels like I'm gonna break it. I think I've said before in some other videos and some other blog posts that I'm very tough on my items, and I've had these rip before. I've had them wear out pretty easily. I've had them tear. And these, one, Osprey would replace it or fix it, and two, I don't feel like I'm ever gonna get there with this because they are super durable. So I really appreciate that about this backpack. One downside for using this as a day pack, I think I said this before, but it's very large. I mean, 32 liters for a day hike is pretty dang big. And I think that's where, it's useful for a student or someone who carries a lot of stuff. Like if they have a laptop, a couple books, and a bunch of extra stuff that they need. That size I think will come in handy. I think that kind of covers all of it. So overall, I really, really enjoy this backpack. I've only used it for a couple of months, but I think it's my favorite backpack so far. I do like my full backpack because it has some extra pockets on the sides just to add a bunch of little extra things. But I mean, as you could see from when I opened up the front pocket organizer, I liked that more when I was a student and had to carry a lot more stuff. I don't really need that now. I think they're just nice additional features. Front pocket organizer definitely kind of covers everything that I need for the moment. But I would highly recommend this to a friend because it's durable, it's going to stand the test of time. Osprey has a great reputation for if something breaks, they'll replace it or fix it. So please comment below if you have used this pack and what you think of it. Also find me on some other social media sites. I am on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook the most, and I try to post at least once a week on YouTube. I've been pretty bad about the YouTube part lately because of the holidays. Family and friends are in town, and I'd rather hang out with them than make a video, honestly. But yeah, so comment below on what you think of it. This is one backpack that I'm surprised I haven't seen more reviews for. There's not very many out there. I think I only found 4 or 5 when I was trying to find a good backpack, which is one of the reasons that made me want to do reviews in the first place, and especially review this backpack. So yeah, thanks again for following. Stay tuned for some other stuff, especially if you like fountain pen and stationery. So I hope you all have great holidays, and I guess I might be doing a video on the 30th, so I guess it won't be next year yet, so I'll finish off the year with another video. Thanks again, you guys.